Hi everyone, welcome back to Hoopsa. For today's Southampton match preview, I'm joined by Mike of MatchDayVlogs. How's it going, Mike?
Very good. Very good. Thanks. Glad to be joining you to talk all things football for Saturday's game.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to have you on. Well, let's jump straight in for Saturday. So, obviously, Southampton are coming to Loftus Road in pretty good form, to be honest. Fourth in the Championship, nice 6 point cushion, keeping them in the playoffs at the moment, and 14 unbeaten in the league, which that's completely passed me by if I'm being honest. So, what have you made of your season so far, and is promotion on the cards?
It's promotion on the cards. I like the way you ended that. That's kind of like a very positive spin on it. I think had it not been the fact that the top two are going absolutely crazy on their points tally, it would definitely be on the cards. And the same can be said for our current neighbours, Leeds, that are just above us on goal difference. But yeah, no, the season's gone pretty well. I mean, if you take out September, we had an absolutely horrible month where we lost four on the bounce to the top two, Leicester, Ipswich, Sunderland, and also Middlesbrough. It was only the fact that we got a win against Leeds at the end of September that actually made things look relatively okay. But it's kind of strange at the moment because, like you say, we're 14 unbeaten, but actually a lot of Saints fans have been quite disappointed with the
Mm,
points that we supposedly dropped. I mean, we conceded very late on against Watford, and we also sort of clawed a goal back against Coventry. But I think those two games probably a fair result. So it's a little strange. Things are going very, very well, but there's still a little bit of discontent within the fan base camp to think like, well, it could be so much better. But I think that's down to a reflection of the top two, really. But you're never happy when you start comparing yourselves. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it sounds an interesting one. So, talk to me about the 4-0 win at home against Blackburn last weekend then. So, obviously, been a little bit of frustration amongst the Saints fans, but must have felt good to finally hit four, I think for the first time since August, which was the 4-all home draw with Norwich.
mm, yeah, and I can't remember when we last won by four goals. I think that was probably down to maybe some mad results maybe 10 years ago or so. But
Mm,
really, that Blackburn game, the first half was hugely frustrating. Southampton are now playing kind of like slow, progressive build up from the back, very intricate passing. And it felt like quite a frustrating first half because of the fact that Blackburn were sitting back and they were kind of sort of, defending very tightly. Um, More dubious referee decisions, but after having 3 or 4 months in the championship, we're now used to it. At least we don't have
mm.
VAR to haunt us anymore. Um, but yeah, weirdly, it was one of those games that I think 4-0 was probably the right scoreline overall. Even before the sending off, I thought we dominated it massively, but in the same respect that we struggled to break Blackburn down at times. But I guess that's kind of the slow build-up play. But I think, we looked great. I thought we looked probably not quite as good as we did against Cardiff in that 2-0 win, last one at home. But yeah, no, very positive. And I think the positive thing for us is the fact there's a lot of players on the fringe, so to speak, like James Bree, who had a fantastic performance in right back. And really, I think he was in team of the week as well for the championship. So we've got a few dark horses in our lineup that are actually having very decent seasons. Let's hope we can keep them all in January. That's the worry.
Mm, yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a nice segue, really. I was going to ask next who QPR fans should be worried about for Saturday. Obviously, Adam Armstrong, of course, is leading the goals with 12 in 22. That's just two behind Sammy Smodic in the league overall.
Mm.
But who else should we be worried about?
We should definitely be worried about Kyle Walker-Peters. I mean, he's arguably the best player in the championship. We'll say it quietly, but he's way too good for this league. Other players to look out for would be Charlie Alcaraz, causing a lot of menace in that midfield. Um, Joe Aribo's been featuring quite a lot recently. I think with Flynn Downs was out with sickness. He's much more of a physical presence in midfield as well, something that we've not really had. We're kind of like the team in the championship that's come to play ballet in the mosh pit, and sometimes our small stature and fragility can sort of catch us out in the games. But but yeah, I would say that there's obviously Adam Armstrong would be up front. But also, Samuel Dozie as well on the wing has had a good game. I think he scored against you guys when we played you at St
Yeah,
Mary's, and also scored at the weekend the opening goal. We don't know what body part the ball came off, but it went in, so we're happy with that opening goal. But
that's all that matters.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, I could literally maybe even name the entire 11. To be honest with you, it's difficult to pick out a bad egg in that. So I guess it's the positive position to be in.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So you mentioned a second ago the January transfer window. So obviously we're not far off from that opening up. Will Southampton be active in the window? And if so, what would you like to see?
I think we will be active. I think we'll probably see Shea Adams move on. I had there's links to him going to Burnley. He's only got 6 months left on his contract, and I think the fact that he hasn't signed anything kind of inclinates that he's on his way out. I fear for the loss of Kyle Walker-Peters. I think, should we not get promotion in the summer, that one's kind of inevitable. But I certainly hope that we can keep hold of him in January. In terms of the incomings, I think the club will be looking at another attacking midfielder, a winger. Depending on what happens with Shea Adams and also the injured Ross Stewart, who we were looking forward to seeing more of. I mean, he's injured again. We could see another addition in the strike force. There's talks of maybe Danny Ings coming our way. I'm not sure I'm keen on having another person in the sick bay, but the club will be looking at goal scorers to compensate the departure of Shea Adams, and maybe also Sekou Mara may be on his way because of the lack of game time. So there could be a few changes, and I hear that Mason Holgate is Everton aren't happy with the amount of game time that Mason Holgate is getting, so you could see his termination of his loan move. But it's kind of a tricky one because all of our defenders are having great seasons, so it's difficult to get in that centre back pairing at the moment.
Yeah, it's a nice problem to have rather than rather than having a back line that just can't keep them out.
Well, yeah, but as you know, it only takes one injury for everything to change, and suddenly it's chaos. It's just like, oh my goodness, we need someone now,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that is a concern.
Great. Okay. Well, lastly, let's get your score prediction then. So obviously you won 2-1 at home back in August. But the last time the teams faced each other at Loftus Road was the 7th of February 2015, which was a 1-0 win for the Saints. Do you know who the goal scorer was?
I'm going to guess and say Ricky Lambert.
It was 23-year-old Sadio Mane.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
So what do you reckon for Saturday?
What do I reckon Saturday? I can see that you guys have struggled to score recently in a few of your. I think did you have someone sent off in the previous game? Was it a Plymouth game or something?
So Plymouth had a man sent off, but they parked everyone behind the ball, so we really struggled to score in that one. Scored once against Wednesday on Saturday before capitulating and losing 2-1.
Yeah, sorry to take you through that again. That sounded quite depressing. I mean, I think after scoring 4 goals at home, I think the confidence is booming. So I would like to see us get on the score sheet 2, maybe 3 times. So am I confident of a clean sheet? Maybe. So I'm going to go for what in my eyes is quite conservative, which I can't believe I'm saying this. This is only a few months down in the Championship. I'm saying this as a confident. I'm going to 2-0 Southampton.
You wanted to go for 3, I can tell there.
Respectfully, being on your channel, I've got to go for 2. So yeah.
I respect it. Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you so much, Mike. Good luck for Saturday. I'm going to pop the link to MatchDayVlogs down in the description, so make sure you check that out. And I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
Cool. Thank you.